What's going on, everybody? My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We're Rendered Reality, and as always, this is Coffee and VR on your Saturday. I needed coffee again this morning because I am freaking exhausted already, and it's at 11 o'clock here, and I'm freaking wiped already.
We're gonna get into why you're wiped.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I did want to say a little shout out to Steve XM there on that intro. He did a little transition scene at the end. It was probably too quick to notice some of the special things he put on the desk that he built and stuff there with the Uno cards and a bunch of other little things. I thought that was super cool. Shout out to him. My voice is a little crazy this morning. I've actually been kind of sick this past week, so I've been kind of struggling. So if I sound a little funny today, that's probably why. I'm probably not as loud, which may be a good thing for most people.
You're doing good though, yeah, for what it's been. But also, cheers to South Memphis too for double super chats before the show even started.
Right.
Glad everybody's joining us. We do have some stuff to give away today. I have a poll up already asking what's everybody drinking today. 75% coffee. I'll let it run for a little bit, but yeah, that's awesome.
So I didn't realize all the options. So 75% coffee, 6% tea, 3% adult beverage, and 16% nothing at all. Huh.
Right.
Very interesting.
Coffee,
I'm sure that'll change some too, but yeah, it's super cool.
My wife would argue and say tea, but you know.
This is actually my first cup of coffee so far today, so I'm struggling.
My first of good coffee, I'll put it that way. But yeah, man, we're going to talk about a ton of stuff. Like what? We got CES coverage today, which we'll talk about later.
Maybe not been as big as some years. We'll get into some of that. Some pretty cool things still that came out, but interesting talk on that today, I think. Some stuff with the concerts, some personal concerts in your own home, which is looking pretty awesome, as well as some new updated games and stuff and games that are coming. And let's talk about this game that you played this morning that I've never even heard of. And
so this is definitely my pick of the week, and I'm sure it's going to be my wife's as well. But this is on SideQuest. I've played it on SideQuest, and I actually used this with a treadmill, and it was incredibly fun and makes you want to run even faster. It is the coolest experience to do on a treadmill. I've always wanted to be able to actually run, in VR. And a lot of people have treadmills as well, or into exercising. And you don't have to have a treadmill to use this, by the way. You can use it with controllers and running in place, but it makes you want to run faster and go harder to catch, the girl you're running with and move faster through the world. It is the coolest thing. It is free on SideQuest. Yeah. I highly recommend trying it for your workout regimen. It's a blast. Visually, it looks good. You can see like 1.5 miles or something like that, or 1.5 kilometers, they say, in the distance, and you can really tell. It's not super high-res graphics, but man, is it entertaining.
So my first question to you when you told me about this morning was, isn't this dangerous? Like, you're literally wearing a VR headset on a treadmill running. You're not walking on the treadmill. You're legitimately running, right?
Sure. I totally get that. I totally understand where everyone's coming from with this. But first, there's a dot on the ground. So you do know where your center is, right, when you start. Second, when you put it in treadmill mode, it actually puts a little treadmill frame in front of you. So it's kind of like it's been transplanted or superimposed into VR. And I just kind of kept one hand, I guess, on the rail just for reference. But man, once you start running, you don't even have to think about it. It's like saying you would fall off a treadmill, running in your house, and you don't,
Yeah, but you can see normally. It seems sketchy, but I am going to try this out because we actually have a treadmill in our garage. We have a little workout thing in our garage, which we don't use enough, obviously. But I'm definitely interested in checking this out.
So the music is really,
that's one of the things you said.
Yeah, and it shows the BPM, which is beats per minute of the song, and like the pace of your running and stuff. So you can actually match up your running rhythm to the song, which is super cool. But then I would get frustrated. I'm like, I want to go faster. So I would just start going harder and you get closer to the girl and you start catching her and stuff.
This is actually Tyler's footage off the show here. I'm super disappointed though, because I was like, did you get footage of you actually running on the treadmill? He's like, no, I was in my pajamas. And I was like, so what? Like, nobody would have cared.
I got up and I wanted to play this. I'm like, I'm motivated today. I want to do this. Like, I want to get in here. I was super impressed by it. Super cool. Wolf Raza, cheers. Cheers,
thanks
mate.
for all you do. Y'all are the best. We definitely appreciate that. And actually, you all are the best. That's the only reason we really do this, but we really appreciate
just hanging out with you guys on our Discord alone is amazing.
For sure.
But awesome room, by the way, to him. He's got a super sick setup. But he's
working on some cool stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I do want to check
it
this out.
really
I'm
cool,
going to
man.
check this out. And it's free. You know, we talked a lot about SideQuest.
Yep.
I think it was last episode because of the Doom stuff and
Oh,
everything.
there you go. You can see the treadmill, like the frame.
Oh,
there,
yeah. Okay.
front.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty cool. I love the idea. I wonder how this compares to like HoloFit or something that is
Sure.
officially on the Oculus Quest as of late. I have not tried that yet.
This part going down the hill, I felt like I was having to run faster, put my feet out in front of me because I saw myself going down the hill.
Yeah, that'd be
You
weird.
know how you have to break yourself? I kind of like mentally thought I had to do that. It was
You
really
almost
weird.
need like a treadmill that, you know how you can raise the height on a treadmill. You
Oh.
almost need one that changes with the elevation. That
Oh,
would be,
well,
that
yeah.
would be, I mean,
That's-
obviously that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Right.
That would be really cool though. That would definitely
Sure.
add to the immersion. I think my wife may be interested in this, but I think that it just the fear factor of running and having a headset on. So
the nice part is when you put it in treadmill mode, you don't have to worry about direction. So when you do this with controllers in place, you use your headset for directional purposes.
okay.
But if you want to look around, you can hold the grip on it to gaze and while you're still going in that same direction, which is really cool because I love to just run and look around.
Yeah.
But in the treadmill mode, you're basically on rails going down the path. So I'm just running, like looking around at the scenery and the sunset. And it was just, it's really cool. I highly recommend it.
For
And
sure.
it is, you know, very sweaty. So I
Yeah.
would highly recommend like a silicone cover or something on your headset or at least a VR cover. And maybe putting a fan in front could really help.
And that would
give
actually
you that forward feeling. Yeah, that was my
gonna
next
say
step.
help with
taking
even the
that time.
movement.
Yep.
The feeling of movement. Actually, I think our treadmill has a fan built into it, so that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I do really want to check this out. I'm super interested in this now.
Like right here. When I crested this hill, you could see the sun coming across it.
Yeah.
And like you could see her in the distance. If you stop, she's like waving you on, like, come on,
Oh,
like
really?
motivating you.
Motivation, yeah. So is
Yeah,
this the
it's
only
super cool.
atmosphere? Is there multiple atmospheres in there? Is this
As far
the
as
only
I know,
one?
this is the only world, and it's some 5-kilometer world that you can run around in and stuff.
So that's
But
a
it would be
pretty decent
awesome to
amount, yeah.
see like, you know, run through a city or something, or snow environment, or just all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
would be super. Run down the road.
So Chris,
but yeah, somebody
Chris
asked what it was.
yeah, it's called Happy
Yep.
Run. Yeah, it's called
Yep.
Happy Run. Tyler called it Happy Feet originally. I think he was getting
Yeah.
confused with a Disney movie or something like
Stop
that.
it, the penguin movie. Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, they got a
Don't take
VR
shit to
game.
heart, man. Leave me alone.
So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in checking this out. I did a little bit of a workout type thing this morning as well, and a little bit through this week. I actually haven't played a ton of VR this week just because I haven't been.
Real quick, gaming science teacher asked, safer on an elliptical. This actually wouldn't work on an elliptical. It uses the impact of the headset, the up and down impact of it. So if you run, you know, if you're a real smooth runner, you want a little bit of an impact to it, and that's how it gauges.
Kind of bob, but
Yeah.
I mean, elliptical, you have a little bit of movement too. There's not as much impact, but
Right. Nah, not like you would need for this
Yeah.
probably. It's really cool. Risky business. Definitely should check it out, man. You would
yeah.
love it.
I do
It's
feel
really-
like it would be safer on an elliptical if they can make it work on an elliptical. It definitely would feel
it's
a little
safe on a
safer, but-
treadmill, man. It's no different than running on your own treadmill.
So what do you
sit
do
in
as
front-
far as turning up the speed? You just kind of peek out under the headset and turn the speed up when you want to run faster on the treadmill?
I just matched it to my running pace that I wanted to do. So if I wanted to speed my running up, I reached down and pushed the
Yeah.
slider up for my speed and made it go faster. Oh, I did though, and I do recommend this, setting your boundary up with your floor height as the floor of the treadmill, not your actual floor. Definitely
Oh,
helps.
yeah.
Makes
That
it
makes
seem
sense.
right, you know,
That
in the
makes
headset.
sense. And I'm guessing when you talked about it, it's kind of like a tracked treadmill space where you traced out where your treadmill is or whatever.
Yeah,
Does that
I
kind of
just
work
circled
like
my treadmill is all I did.
Does
yeah.
that kind of
Yep.
work like Richie's plank experience? You know, when you do the board, when you trace out your board and you kind of line up your board, so when you walk on the board in Richie's plank experience,
My
it's probably
assumption
similar.
is it starts as where I reset my space. So I stood on the treadmill, looked straight. I always do this for stuff like that, just by second nature. And then I reset my Oculus Home. So my menu was dead ahead of me. And when I put it in treadmill mode, it was right in front of me where it should be. So I didn't
super
have
cool.
many
Yeah,
issues.
I'm really curious to check this
Yeah,
out
yeah.
as well.
Yep.
I think this is really cool. Something. I mean, it just shows the potential of VR that's untapped in so many areas. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the workout space with on a treadmill. Even though we have stuff like HoloFit, you know, you can do like I think there's row machines and stuff. So I'm curious to try that out too and see how that can compare.
And
I
this
think you
was
can do that
on-
on a treadmill too.
This was Quest 2 that I played it on. It also works on original Quest. Yeah.
And it's free.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't get better
Yep.
than that. If you got a treadmill
awesome.
laying around,
Yeah.
dust that thing off, fire it
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I would
Try this
gladly
thing
pay if they had a couple maps and different,
Yeah.
ways you can run
DLCs,
stuff.
DLCs
I
would be
would
cool.
gladly pay $10, $15, $20 for this.
Yeah.
I really would all
That's
day.
really cool.
But yeah,
So what I played a little bit this week is the Synth Riders update. So they got I think it's 5 songs that they did as an update, some Muse songs and stuff. And I think let me see, the price was I think $1 something per so it's $1.99 each if you buy each one separately, and you can, or you can buy a bundle for $7.96, which saves you like roughly 20%. Right. So these are really cool. I checked these out, and honestly, where's it at? I don't know which one it is now. Oh, it's the top one. So Algorithm, alternate reality version. If you're going to try any of them, I recommend that one the most, and not just because of the song or anything, but the environment. So that one, it even gives you a warning before you go in on that one. It gives you a warning that, you know, people that are sensitive to flashing lights and all this other stuff, you know, it's going to be pretty intense in VR. So it gives you that pop-up warning. So I was like, what is this? I went in, and the map itself is awesome. And I purposely didn't show the video. I recorded the video of me playing this map, and I was like, I don't even really want to show it because I want people to be able to go in and check it out, because it's not just a regular Synth Riders map, you know, where you have your regular world. This one is a little bit special, and I think it's worth checking out for, especially for $1.99. It's kind of completely different. It totally gives you the feeling of being somewhere else in kind of like that techno trance kind of euphoric state, I guess. I don't know. It's really cool. When I checked it out, I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, this is really cool. And I'm not even like a big Muse fan or anything like that, but I mean, it was really cool.
Kind of what it would like maybe to be at a festival, like maybe on
if you were like on acid or something.
Right.
if you I've never done that. I mean, I have no idea what that is like, but I mean, I can imagine if you were like, you know, on something like that, that is what it would feel like. That I can imagine that is what it would feel like. So I think it was really cool to check out.
Like when I get done with the show and drink a whole pot of coffee, like that
and you're just like hallucinating and stuff.
No, not
that. But yeah, honestly though, if you're gonna check out any of them, they're all good in their own ways. Yeah. But that one to me
is awesome too.
Really stuck out, and I wish like I actually played that alternate reality version. I played that one first, and I was like so excited because I thought all of them were gonna be like that. And that was the only one that had like a completely different environment and world that you were a part of. So
isn't it Gunship as well, who must be doing a lot of VR stuff, that jumped on to lo-fi, right? Isn't that who's doing some of the audio for lo-fi as well? Right.
I do believe that's right. And we have a code to give away as well for Synth Riders itself. This is an Oculus code. You're going to have to go to redeem gift to get this code. So this is for the full game. You'll have to buy these updates if you want these songs or whatever they are. They will be purchased separately. But if you don't have Synth Riders Oculus, it's an awesome workout game, kind of almost like a dance rhythm workout game. It's awesome. A lot of people really love it. It's one of my go-tos every once in a while. I don't play it a ton. I'm not super awesome at it, but it's one that I enjoy. I definitely enjoy it. So
and cheers, cool. Steve too, joining us. Intro was great. He said little bug. Yeah, we had some stuff we were working through with it, but seemed to iron out.
Yeah, it kind of glitches when you change scenes a little bit, but not too bad.
Oh, and by the way, Cash Castro said that beard though, right?
It's ridiculous. My wife's gonna kill me because I tried to wax. I think it's fallen down.
I begged you.
But I waxed these things this morning, so they would kind of like stick up. But they keep falling down. I don't know. I need like some Elmer's glue. You remember back in the day when people would do like their hair like
paste, man.
Well, I have some. It's like wax. It's like wax. Right. So but it still wants to fall down. I guess it's not trained well enough. But my wife's gonna kill me because she hates when I do this. Like I mess with them all the time, try to get them to stay up, and she hates it. She's like, that looks so ridiculous.
I love it when we're prepping for the show and stuff. He's over here like grooming his beard and like playing with it.
It's terrible. She hates it. So the beard might come off whether I'm sleeping at night and she shaves it off. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But she hates the little curls, which I think they're awesome. She's like, why would you want to do that? She's like, you look so stupid. I was like, that's the point. Like that's the whole point. I think it's funny. I don't know. So
it's amazing. I know. Yeah.
So hopefully somebody got that.
So people might get close and personal to your beard here too in another game too, but we can't say anything.
We can't say anything about that. Hopefully soon. I can't wait to check that out. But so hopefully somebody got that.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't got to play this myself, so I'm going off your word. But yeah, great songs and stuff, I'm sure. So
yeah, definitely check out Algorithm alternate reality version. If you only buy one, make sure that's the one just for the experience of the world. I loved it. That was really, really cool, I thought.
That's awesome. So,
but they're all good.
Can we talk about what else has kind of amped me lately? And after watching the video, speaking of music, and we've done some VR concerts in the past. I've attended a bunch in venues and stuff like that, some alt space stuff, kind of all over. But I really, really feel like, Sony and the partners and stuff who are capturing this are doing an amazing job. But this is going to be produced and funded basically by Sony, But oh man,
it's coming to Oculus though too. It says it's coming to PlayStation and Oculus. So I don't know if that's gonna. I'm guessing that's gonna be Oculus Quest. I would assume in the video it looks like towards the end they're actually using a CV1, a Rift CV1. So which I thought was kind of weird, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably easy for development, stuff like that. Maybe that's what they're using it for, but this will look amazing.
Yeah.
And Madison Beer is who this is. And if you don't know her, she's done some songs with like Jax Jones, had a song lately, I think, I forget what it's called, Pop Star, maybe, something like that was her last hit. But
is
super
Pop Star,
great
is that the one that's on Beat Saber? That Pop Star?
Oh, you know, I don't know. That's
no,
it's not. I don't know.
Maybe somebody knows because there is a Beat Saber song called Pop Stars, but I don't really know much about Madison Beer, to be honest. So
I know her from doing some she dabbled in a lot of EDM stuff, which I tend to listen to a lot on my own time. And she would always be, voices, vocals for it and stuff. And super, super great voice. And when I heard this, I'm like, I didn't recognize her name, but I'm like, I know the voice. You know, I'm really good with that. So I looked her up and I looked up some songs and stuff, and then Jack Jones started to pop up and everything. But yeah,
Tony Digital coming through with a $25 super chat. Definitely, he says the best in the biz. He must be talking about Sony. I don't know what he's talking about. Or Sony, or maybe Madison Beer. I don't know.
You're talking about us. I know that. No.
Okay, so Alex VR said not the same Pop Stars. So I said, I don't know much about Madison Beer, to be honest. So
Pop Stars is more of like a current song, maybe more of a mainstream pop. Top 40 song, but but this would be super cool. Hoping to be up close and personal, and with all the facial capturing and stuff they're doing,
this is like full mocap.
You have to, exactly.
Facial, body, everything. Look at full volumetric. I mean, this is what we've kind of gotten used to a little bit is kind of the 360 concert. We did what was the one that we did not that long ago? What was his name? The dude that does the weird thing with his voice.
Weird thing with his voice.
You just talked about it. You just talked about it this morning. The concert, the 360 in Oculus venues or whatever it was.
Post Malone.
Post Malone,
yeah. Yeah, that was venues, right?
Yeah, that was a while back, but that was like a 360 video.
Because shot it from the side of the stage, and to feel like when they would do cut scenes and you were right there looking up at them, that was a really cool moment.
I agree, but I didn't the 360 stuff to me, honestly, I like the 180 stuff better to get some depth, but this is going to be better than all of that because this is full depth. I mean, this really seems like she is there, you know what I mean? Not just watching a flat video in 360 or anything like that. We've also seen some things where I think Lindsay Sterling did one, but she was just like an avatar basically, which is cool too. I think that's really cool. But this, I think, no, it was, I can't remember which one. It wasn't All Space, but I feel like this is going to truly give you that experience of being at a concert and just that feel, the feels of actually being there. And I think this is going to be the way to go. If they can perfect this, maybe simplify it some, because this looks like this was a pretty big production. Cost wise, I'm sure this was not cheap, but I mean, you're looking at the year 2020 where concerts are no longer a thing, in-person concerts. And I don't think we're going to get back to that anytime soon, if ever. I don't know.
Regular form.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough.
The world is changing. The world is definitely changing, and I think that this is more the future of what concerts look like. I mean, if you give me this kind of concert to be a regular mainstream thing, I'll pay ticket prices. I would rather go to a concert like this anyways because I don't like big crowds. I don't like waiting in lines. I don't like spending 20 minutes in line to go to a bathroom. You know what I mean? None of that stuff's fun. So if I can get close to that experience in my house with other people, me and you could go to this concert together, sit next to each other.
That's a necessity, though. That's the next step. I don't know if this will be that, but the next step has to be true multiplayer with people and don't know. Right. Because you're now meeting people that you have something in common with because you all wanted to attend this. So super cool way of, hang out with people casually. Even if you could play it after it's live too, you know what I mean? And just go in with a group of friends to see it. That would be cool, you know?
I mean, this looks ridiculously good. I can't wait to see how this turns out, but I do really think that this is part of the future of concerts and all. I mean, even talks like TED Talk stuff. There's so many things I think that you could do really cool stuff with this and sell tickets. You know what I mean? This doesn't have to be being free is awesome, of course, but I mean, if you want to sell tickets to something like this, I feel like as VR grows, people would pay money to go to a concert like this. I think
we've always said our dream would be to host our show from VR in VR with people.
But something like
this true form.
super realistic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So
Would be.
I mean, obviously the tech is advancing. All this stuff is they're dabbling in more and more stuff that's going to benefit VR in the long run. That I think this is really exciting. I just
hope you can get really close. With the true facial capture, I'm assuming they're going to let you get close. Within 10 feet. And to be able to see her, and they talk about in this video, if you watch the original one, of like looking at you and looking, connecting eyes and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff is just crazy,
Right.
So good.
I totally agree.
Yep.
I'm
Super
excited about this.
I know. Me too. I really am. I do love concerts and stuff. So if they can perfect it, and they're going to do it inside, they're setting her inside of, I forget which one. It's like Sony amphitheater or studio. I don't know where it's located.
Sure which one,
but I mean, they're setting it inside of that. So you're going to be in, a VR world in a concert. You're going to literally feel like you're there. Like, so
this
good.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Super awesome. So
I won't keep going on about it, but yeah,
I'm excited. I am excited. So I did
to
want to mention Gorn. This is a screenshot of the Quest build for Gorn. So this is coming on January 28th. So not much longer to wait for this. I know people have been waiting for Gorn on the Quest for a long time. I mean, it's super violent video game. Yeah, super. I mean, it's all cartoony, but it's very violent, bloody. So maybe if you haven't seen this or played this before, maybe for the young kids, that you might want to avoid this one for them. But people love this. I mean, it's kind of like Blade and Sorcerer. I feel like when Blade and Sorcerer came out, that was kind of a pretty brutal game in VR right off the bat. So this is another one that is a very brutal game, I think. But people are going to be really excited to play this on Quest.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm excited to check it out on Quest. The wireless aspect alone of being able to play this on Quest is a huge benefit, I think, because you're moving around, swinging your arms. I mean, you're just doing crazy stuff. So this is exciting. January 28th. I guess it got delayed quite a bit when they were trying to push it out to PSVR. There was constant delays and stuff. And this one, they say, is January 28th. That's the date, and it's not far away. So
once it's set for Oculus, man, that's it. Yeah, it's set. It's sending. But
so we got a lot to look forward to.
That's awesome. I know. We still a lot of good stuff coming our way, man.
Yeah.
Not as much as I hoped, this week, but
we're still not getting to CES yet. Let's talk real quick about the updates coming to Oculus as far as Oculus sharing accounts and all that stuff, multi-user accounts.
I want to go back. We have cried about this since day one of owning our OG Quest, right?
Right.
I mean, when we got it, the first thing we said is, this is great, but we can't share it. Like somebody comes over and they want their own account, or, you have two headsets, or somebody could play, I could play on my Rift at the time, and somebody could have played on my Quest and you couldn't do it. So there was a lot of issues with some of that, and we've cried about it basically ever since. And now we're seeing them. Yeah. We're seeing multi-users sharing games and stuff on the same headset with
different save accounts. Before it was a big pain in the butt. Even if you have, the one headset and you're sharing and you're playing a game and you have save files, one save file for the game or whatever, it's hard to share that headset. Also, just like we talked about, my wife, she gave, her nephew and her mom and dad and stuff, the family, her Quest 1, now that she has a Quest 2, and they use her account. So it's going to make a lot of that simpler. So they're saying that multi-user feature will let you add up to 3 secondary accounts to a single device. So that's, on one headset, but you're going to be able to have three secondary accounts. Right. So you have 3 secondary accounts, and the primary account is going to be able to share games with the secondary account. Now, the secondary account isn't going to be able to share games with the primary account, though. Sure. And you still got to use a Facebook account and all that stuff, so it's a little weird.
My wonder, though, is I'm hoping, actually, you can select which ones you share, because my issue right now is, my nephew has a headset, but his parents want to get games that they don't want him to play, right? So I'm wondering if they could have the primary account and share certain games then with him, so that he can't access, Gorn or something, or, Population 1, because they don't want him to use guns and stuff. So I'm really hoping that they allow some stuff like this.
I think
we don't know that but I'm hoping.
I've been reading through it, and some of it's still a little bit fuzzy because I haven't got to try it out or anything yet. But they're saying that the app sharing will give primary account holders the ability to share their library of apps between those secondary local profiles.
But is it selective? That's what I don't know. Is it selective, or you're sharing your library? That's, what I mean?
Yeah,
they don't
I'm
word
not
it
sure. Shared apps will allow users to maintain separate game progress and their own profile-specific achievements. So multi-user accounts and app sharing will land on Oculus Quest 2 first as an experimental feature in February, and then to the original 2019 Quest at unspecified later date. So,
Right.
I mean, it's still, I definitely want to try this out, you know, and see exactly how this works. Because I've read through a lot of it, and some of it's pretty clear, and some of it's still like you're saying, you know, it's not super clear on how exactly this is going to work until we really get to try it. But it's a good thing. I mean, I think it's definitely a good thing that they're doing this. So
it's awesome because now, you know, having a Quest 2 and a Quest, I can share accounts with people and borrow, like let people borrow it. You know what I mean? I can give it to somebody and take home. We can both then play. You know what I mean? It's awesome. I love it. Super great concept.
And I don't know what kind of restrictions they're going to put on this, because obviously this is designed for like a one headset household with multi people in the family, you know, a ton of people in the family. So
you can't stop it though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, no different than sharing your Amazon account with somebody, or there's all kinds of stuff. So
all kinds of stuff.
Exactly. Right. You won't know who's using it. They can't restrict on where you use it or anything like that. So it won't matter. Arthur Knox. Cheers, man.
Super chat. So he said Shadow PC just came to SideQuest app. Ready Player One is coming. I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I know
Shadow
he's a big
PC.
Shadow PC
I hear him
fan,
talk about that all the time.
Awesome.
And I know I don't keep up on Shadow PC stuff as much as I probably should. But so there's an actual Shadow PC app on the SideQuest now?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's incredible. That's huge if they can get that working smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be huge. Yeah. I did not know that. I'll have to look into that some.
I know. I wonder what the minimum restrictions are. I forget. I remember looking it up for like internet access and stuff, but I remember it being, I think, like 15 megabytes, but they recommend like 50 or something. I forget.
I don't know. I honestly don't know a lot about Shadow PC. I've never used it before. I
want to.
I need to start learning about it, because I do think it is the future. So another thing.
If he perfects it, look me up, because if he perfects it, I would really like to try. I'm interested in it. I'm on the fence, but well, I know it's a lot of work around. People have trouble with it, so it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those, it's new emerging technology, so there's definitely things that have to be figured out.
It's just getting the world the internet access they need, and now we have, you know, Starlink and blah, 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 but that's a whole other thing.
Yep. So another thing along the lines of Oculus updates, Facebook Reality Labs VP Andrew Bosworth says the company recently teased alternative to distributing apps on the Quest, you know, because right now there's a curated system with the Quest. I'm sure everybody knows that, but, you know, lots of stuff. That's why we have SideQuest. So lots of things don't get approved for the Oculus Quest, and they wanted to make an alternate way for those things to get on there. And they are saying that it's coming much sooner than people think. That was a direct quote from him. So my thought is that, you know, this is probably going to be coming first quarter is what I would think, right? That'd be my guess. Sooner than we think. Hopefully first quarter. I don't know.
But see, their timelines are way different from what we think. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard because everything that comes out of Facebook, I feel like, is just dragged out immensely.
Yeah.
Will this? I hope. But
I mean, they also. I think they
need to look. I mean, look. We just talk about stuff coming to SideQuest again and again and again.
Yeah.
So they have to get on this bandwagon before it won't matter. Everyone's just going to start going to SideQuest.
Well,
and
it's still going to be
really at that point,
you know,
though,
we did that poll last time, you know, with the people, and there was a decent amount of percentage of people that were, you know, either scared to mess with SideQuest, or they just didn't want to mess with it. They didn't feel like the technical side. And the way they're going to do this is just going to be a link. So they're going to send a link, the developers, whatever, on their Twitter, or I don't know how that'll work, but they'll send out a link. You download that link directly onto your headset. So there's no workaround with SideQuest, developer mode, none of that other kind of stuff. So it is going to be an easier way to do it. Is that going to be completely uncurated, though? I'm a little curious. Or is it just going to be less curated, right?
Less.
You know what I mean?
It'll be less curated.
That's my thought, too.
Just like we've talked about with, you know, some developers and stuff before. You know, it's very hard to get, you know, approved to be on Oculus.
Yeah.
So maybe for those ones that they just don't want to pass approval for some specific reason, they'll give them the option to go to this. But I don't know if I agree too much with it, because then it doesn't give them the option to probably sell it. Will it? I mean, is it going to all be free at that point? I can't remember
now. I read into it a lot before when they first talked about it. I don't think it's going to be, maybe. I can't remember. Maybe somebody else remembers. I can't remember from before all the information that we read before.
SideQuest gives them the option to make it payable.
Still,
so I don't know, man. SideQuest, I think, is still a great option. It gives you
for sure.
the options to debug stuff. It gives you the option to do stuff that the Quest won't let you touch.
Yeah.
You know, like some super sampling and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that benefit SideQuest still.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
SideQuest is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Yep.
So much good stuff on there. So I'm going to hold out. Hopefully first quarter, second quarter is my hope.
It probably
I would
will
still
be
like to
end
see
of
it.
first
I would
quarter.
still like to see it just for, developers, even just for, I mean, making it easier for playtesters and stuff. I mean, developers now can still put stuff on the Quest through links and stuff before it's officially on the store, but hopefully that kind of simplifies some of this for the developers and stuff. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Matteo in chat, I'm really curious to see what he thinks next, where we're going with one of these conversations, because the last time we were around him was what, PAX, right? So to think that like we don't have CES.
Oh yeah. He was at PAX. We didn't end up running into him at PAX. I wish we would have, but yeah, it'll be an interesting. It'll be an interesting conversation, I think, with CES stuff.
I agree. Yep.
Let me see. There is one thing I ordered that I don't have here yet, and that is the VR cover rear padding for the Elite strap, because I love the Elite battery strap. I use it all the time. And there was actually one of the people on our Discord just got his Quest 2, and he was actually making something similar to this for his Quest 2 with foam and stuff, saying it was a lot more comfortable.
Couldn't talk about it, I don't think, at the time even, but
yeah, this is close, so I have this on order. I haven't got it yet. I'm curious to see how much, because a lot of people with the Elite strap, they've complained about the way that the rubber on the Elite strap digs into their skull. I've never had that issue. It's very comfortable for me, but I think for people that do have that issue, because we know everybody's heads are so different, I think this could potentially help them comfort-wise quite a bit. And even for me, even though that back doesn't bother me, I'm still okay to make it even more comfortable. I mean, so I'm excited about this. I think this is cool.
My favorite setup for the original Quest was the VR cover front interface and the VR cover rear for the factory strap. I loved that setup. Like 100% loved it. And the one thing, I think what will do the most for me with this, one is comfort, obviously, but second, it's actually going to push your battery, for myself, because I have the battery strap, back farther. So it will give you a little more weight back there, farther back,
maybe a little bit,
to balance it a little bit better. I mean, the farther back it goes, the more it does.
Maybe a little bit.
Really, it has to help even more. So I am really, really excited to try this one on myself.
Hopefully it's just going to feel more like a pillow on my head is what I'm hoping, because it looks pretty thick. Like I said, I haven't checked this out yet or got to try it yet, but hopefully it'll get here soon. I can check that out. They do also have a bunch of new colors that they released in the Pleather. So this is the Pleather kit. Some of these are out of stock. I think a couple of these are still in stock, but they have some pink. They have the pink plastic interface.
The blue looks good too.
Yeah, the blue looks good. I think my wife is really excited to get a pink, even though she has the red and white one on hers now. I have the all black or whatever, the lower right hand corner one on mine. But I just love the customization.
I've got the red, man. Yeah. I love the freaking red with hers. The Mamut reds.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that's what's on hers. I like the blue. I think she might end up wanting to get the pink. So, I mean, I love the customization anyways. We talk about that. I'm glad they're expanding their horizons, getting some more colors out there. I think that's always good. So, pretty cool stuff.
Matteo says he thinks the pleather feels weird on his face.
Some people do.
So what do you... I don't know. So what do you go to then? Do you keep silicone, it factory? Do you go to silicone? Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard somebody else on our Discord was just saying that they don't like the pleather on their face, which, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody finds comfort differently, so it makes sense. But I much prefer the pleather. Like I cannot run the factory interfaces on most things because they make my face itchy. It just feels scratchy, itchy to me. It's super uncomfortable. But
for me, it's the field of view gain, man. Like you gain field of view with the thin VR covers. I love it. It's such a big difference to me. It's huge. I'm a big stickler for the field of view and wanting more. So it's amazing how much I feel.
And they don't make the official thin cover that they did for the first Quest. That's what I ran all the time. But you get the thinner and the thicker one. I don't think I can run the super thin one on my Quest 2 because it still fits from the Quest 1. But with my lens adapters and everything else, it gets my eyes a little too close to the lenses. Sometimes my eyelashes and stuff will hit if I get it too thin. But
I actually think it helps with my, because everyone's pupillary distance and the 3 settings, especially in the Quest 2. I actually think it really helps me. Having the lenses inside now, the prescription ones, and I cheat and I put a thin VR cover onto my Quest 2 sometimes to get even that little bit of more from the original Quest.
Those lens adapters, I can't live without those things now.
Me neither now. I know. It's crazy. Yep.
Matt said, when you cut your beard, you can make a facial interface out of it. That sounds terrible.
That might be a little itchy. Terrible. Just a little.
We talked about this before, but when you're playing VR and you get a hair, you get like a hair in your headset. Oh, that's like, it's terrible. It's the worst
nuts. We'll
feeling
be in the middle
ever.
of like, last team in Pop 1, and I've got this mad itch on my face because I feel a hair in there.
But you don't want to like try to take it off or get it out because you're gonna. I mean, sometimes it's too intense and you can't. You got to just push through. It's terrible.
Sometimes
most
I try
terrible thing ever.
Right up under the nose piece and try and get it out, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I know.
I did want to mention real quick too about Steam. So some of the Steam numbers came out, and they actually peaked above 2 million for the first time in April. And they said, no doubt, thanks to the launch of Half-Life Alyx, as well as that was when a lot of the COVID stuff started happening. Yeah. So just like me, I was home a little bit more from work. I was playing Half-Life Alyx like crazy. But as above and beyond that, they said that they have reached 104 million sessions, VR sessions on the platform recorded during the year. That was 2020, as well as 1.7 million first-time users, which is amazing. I mean, that just shows you how much VR has grown in 2020. And I think a lot of that could be from new headsets. It could be from the pandemic of people having more time at home, being alone, wanting that social aspect that VR gives you. But I just thought that was awesome. And I just wanted to mention that, like, it's huge. And I wish Oculus would give us those numbers too. Like, it stinks that Steam is the only one that really gives us, numbers of, people who are on headsets they're using, stuff like that. I wish Oculus would as well, because I got to imagine, I would love to know the Quest numbers. I would love to know. I don't know why they wouldn't, numbers.
Man. I really am. It's odd to me that they don't, because those numbers have to be ridiculous. So why wouldn't they want to show that off a little bit, right? I mean, or are they not as good as we think?
I think you need to fix that poll though. Your poll says, should Sean his beard?
Oh,
should Sean his beard? Yeah, I don't know what that means.
All right, fine. I
don't know what that means, but I just saw your poll. So yeah, I mean, I think Half-Life Alyx again as well probably made the VR numbers on Steam grow quite a bit too, because I know a lot of people bought headsets just for that game. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
What I was trying to say.
I think you're trying to say should Sean shave his beard or something, but.
Yeah. Whatever.
But if my wife's on, she's gonna vote yes, I'm sure. So.
No. I love it, man.
There we go. That's better.
It's awesome.
So.
Man, I love it.
What else we got? Are you ready to get into CES stuff?
It's hard not to. I mean, we were supposed to be at CES. We're signed up for it and stuff as well. My biggest thing is why even attend it? We're still getting the emails on, are you attending this year? Because we were planning to last year.
It was like $350. It went up to almost like 500, I think, if you waited. That was to get tickets to attend, but like, what was the point? Like, we were still going to see all of the stuff come out, the videos and everything else. So that was, we were like, why would we spend that money? Like, it's nowhere near the same as actually getting to go to CES and experiencing all that stuff. You can't try out any of this stuff,
And I know some of it was, hosting, private, talks and stuff with some developers and some releases on stuff. But what's it really do? I mean, what's okay? Not having our hands on something does nothing for showing us in a video. I mean, it's just not the same. The point of CES is for developers and companies to get their products in hand, to show what they've built, to show what they're working on. And without having that, what is it? Just a trailer release party? Like at a point, which I do understand, but there's no drive to have that done for it. And especially with COVID, all of that got backed up, right? And stuff wasn't ready for it. It wasn't done for it. And they didn't have to anyways. And they knew they weren't going to have to. So there was no push to have it done by that date. So for us to attend it was kind of a joke. I mean, it really wasn't going to do anything for us. And it's not VR specific, you know what I mean? But there is a lot of new stuff in the VR AR realm that does get pushed out because it's emerging technology.
Well, but I mean, the thing is,
not there. Like
VR is still small. So when you have a big convention like CES, a lot of the big name companies or TVs, like all that AMD, stuff,
Nvidia, even,
that stuff is what gets pushed out the most. The thing that CES is, like you said, I think you said on Discord, when you go there and you go to CES, the show floor is packed, and there's tons of smaller companies that gain exposure from being on that show floor, getting coverage from YouTubers or whatever else that are there, that are checking out those products, that are trying them, that don't get exposure through mainstream media, right? So without CES being a physical in-person thing this year, I'm sure a lot of those smaller companies that are working on stuff, they didn't even worry about signing up and whatever for CES because they can't be there. People can't put headsets on, try them, try different technologies,
Absolutely.
and make videos on them and everything else. So
yeah, you can't physically having something in your hand is 100% different than watching a video or even listening to us talk about it. You know, having it for yourself or seeing it is 100% different. And it just kills me that we didn't have that this year, along with all the other conventions as well. You know, not just CES.
Right.
And hopefully we do get back to that.
Super chat. He said CES have went completely VR showcase. So I don't know. There was a lot of CES stuff still. We got some decent amount of stuff out of CES this year still that we're going to talk about. But the bad thing is that a lot of the stuff that came out of CES VR related was all just updates from what we saw last year. You know, all that stuff, you know, the Panasonic headset, the gloves, like all that stuff was at CES last year. They just showed it again this year as some updates and some things they've done to them. There wasn't a whole lot of like completely new emerging stuff, and there was some, but it was, I mean, you were pretty upset. You were like, man, CES sucked this year. Like, it just didn't live up to what we had hoped for.
I know there was a lot of hype with, you know, some people, and some people were excited about it, and to each his own, don't get me wrong. But for me, it was a complete flop. I felt like we had nothing come out of this and nothing relevant to the VR world. Yeah, we got stuff dabbled out, but what was it? It was stuff, a lot of it we already knew about.
Right.
And yeah, there's been, you know, work on stuff, but we didn't get any shockers. We didn't get anything that was like, oh my gosh, can you believe this is coming? Or this year is going to be amazing. And there wasn't any of that, and nothing that got me excited. No Quest 2 competitor, you know, in the real rights. Disappointment with the Samsung controllers that some people were jacked about, but are they like touchpad? Like, are we reverting backwards at this point? I feel like
it doesn't have any buttons. Like, it has a touchpad and what looks like a joystick, but I actually forgot to load those things in here. I'm gonna try to load. I forgot to load the images of those in there.
No, but like a lot of it, I just wasn't that excited for. And I know I'm on a bandwagon, and I know I'm starting to get frustrated and sound like, you know, Anthony at this point, but it really like grinds my gears that we didn't have anything, you know. And I've been in talks with, you know, you and some other companies and stuff as well that I've mentioned to. I challenged them that I would love to host a VR expo on our channel of releases that are VR specific, because I know that nothing has happened to this point. And there hasn't been a lot of VR stuff. So let's do a VR specific release. Let's do an event, not an in-person one. Let's do it here and show people what VR is, because there was nothing. Like, we didn't get anything great. And all these companies that we deal with have all this amazing stuff and are working on stuff. And I would love to show that off for them. And give them a place where VR people can find that, because it's lost, you know. And at CES, VR is now getting to the point where it's big enough that we need that specific stuff. We need the place to go that is VR only stuff. And I would love to do that, because personally, the guys that I know, these companies, they need that. They really need the opportunity given to them to show off their stuff and not get lost in the hustle of CES. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm sorry I'm getting like amped up here, but I've really been frustrated with the whole CES thing because of how bad I've wanted to go for so many years now. And now it's getting nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were really excited to go this year, for sure.
Right. Yeah, and Matt said I wasn't expecting anything from the VR realm at CES, and I kind of said that last week as well. You know, I didn't expect it either. I didn't think we were going to see anything amazing, and we really, in my eyes, we didn't.
Yeah. So Arthur Knox, again, he's clarifying his last statement there. Thank you for that super chat. He's saying, no, I'm saying everything should have been done completely in VR, like completely walk around in VR. That I totally agree with. That would be amazing.
That was actually a conversation that you and I had this past week. I said, you know, could you imagine if next year we were at the point in working with software developers that we could host an event inside of VR and do that? And I think it is definitely possible, 100%.
Yep.
I think it would be amazing. I think it would be.
Yeah, I think that is the future. Just like we talked about with the concerts, you know, that as that technology advances, that's the kind of stuff we need to see more and more of. And that's going to make VR grow even more and more, because even if you're not into playing VR games and stuff, that experience of going places with people and stuff like that, I think is pretty awesome. So let's talk about, this is the Samsung controller. We knew that Samsung was working on a headset. We've known this for a while. You know, we got those images like that bug-eyed version of a headset. These are patent stuff. I don't think this is anything finalized, but to me, it looks like there is a joystick still which looks like it's not placed very comfortably, and then there's a
Right.
touchpad underneath. So what?
Don't
Like,
get the
why do you
touchpad,
not
man.
have the A, B,
You
X,
need
Y buttons?
analog
Like,
input still. You
yeah.
still need an analog input. Like, don't get me wrong. All the like the touch stuff on the NX controller, it's great, but it's not necessary, especially not for gaming.
I've never used that touchpad on the Index.
Nope.
I never use it.
Nope.
I always use the joystick and the A, B, X, Y buttons. Makes no sense. It's
but these look like the sword controllers, right? The
Kinda,
second I saw these, I blinked and I'm like, are these the sword controllers that
little
we've
bit.
never
I mean,
seen?
this is so basically they're taking the ring of, so this is a mixed reality controller. They're taking this ring and moving it back to where you would actually put your hand through the ring, and then the ring would go around here, which seems kind of weird. But my thought is they're trying to make the controller tracking better. Is my thought. They're trying to make the controller tracking of Windows Mixed Reality better. I don't know that this is going to do it. I don't know this is going to put it on the level of some other inside-out tracked headsets, but I think that's the way they're going. I think it's weird, and I think they need to abandon the Windows Mixed Reality platform. I think they need to go on their own. That's what I think a lot of these companies need to do. Valve is going to work with you. They're going to work with you to get Steam integration on pretty much any headset. So go that route, you know, and you don't have to do the outside in. You don't have to do the lighthouses. You can still do your own inside out tracking with your own technology. I think companies need to work on that. I have lost so much faith in Windows Mixed Reality. You know, I said it on a previous show that I'll probably never buy another Windows Mixed Reality headset unless it is completely revamped. I just don't have any interest in it. I mean, I was super excited for the Reverb G2 with more cameras on it. I thought that was going to fix all the issues. It does work better than the original, but it's still not there for controller tracking. You know, works great for Sims and stuff, but it's okay. It's just not great.
Look, the tracking is good. It's the volumetrics of that headset. So if they can still use that software and get better camera placement, I 100% would be all in.
It's got to work.
I'm not upsetting about the rings though. I mean, that doesn't bother me because you have no occlusion when it goes around your arm, no matter what and where you're at.
I think it's going to be restrictive. I think that ring, when you turn certain ways, if you do certain things, that's going to get in the way. I mean, how is that going to? I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. Yeah. This sticking your whole arm with a ring around your arm, I just don't know that that's the way to go. To be honest, I think that's kind of weird. I think that could cause some other issues, you know, depending on how big that ring is and everything else. I think that could cause some other issues. Playing some things, I don't know that that's the way to go. I think, like you said, I think it's part of the problem is the camera placements. I think they need to work on that.
100%.
And I think they still need to work on their predictive software. That's one of the biggest problem is the prediction of where it lasts all that controller and where it thinks it is now. But
I think you're only worried about the predictive software because that volume is so short. If it covered everything, if the cameras were out wide enough, it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? It really would.
I should be able to play VR and stick my hands down by my sides without the controllers freaking out.
100%.
That is something I do all the time. I mean, every game I play, there's points where my hands are down by my sides. That's just a normal resting position, I feel like. So
absolutely it is.
I don't know. I think Samsung can do great things in VR. Absolutely phenomenal things, but I think they need to abandon Windows Mixed Reality. I think they need to go on their own, and that's
they do. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, the access that they have to chips alone, you know, the processors and stuff alone is amazing from their phones and stuff. Like, why not? You have everything needed. You have all the high-res screen market on lock. You have, you know, chip power. You have all that stuff. Everything needed for it. Do it yourself. You know what I mean? It'd be the best competitor that Oculus, Facebook could have. So
I agree.
I really hope that they do.
Rudel Zavedno said these controller patents are from 2018, which I didn't realize they were from 2018. If that's true, he said I think that's non-use. We might never get Odyssey's successor. We might not. I mean, we've been seeing little things from Samsung for a while, you know, and nothing's been for sure. And even a patent doesn't really mean anything. We've seen tons of patents out of Sony and everybody else. A patent doesn't mean that we're ever going to see this actual controller or even this anything close to this design. So I don't know. I still have faith in Samsung that they could do something big in VR, and I hope they do. I hope they haven't abandoned it, but we don't know. I mean, we don't have anything concrete that says, hey, we got a headset coming out this time. You know, we don't know.
Nope.
We don't know.
Nope. And we're not going to know until it's really close, you know, just like their phones and stuff.
Yeah.
You maybe only see leaks on like their final production run when somebody snaps a picture of one. Basically as it's being boxed or tested or, you know, battery test or something. So not until it's basically in production probably will we ever see it. They're very secretive about that. Not as good as Apple, but pretty close.
I think one of the things that we were honestly the most excited about, and again, this is something we saw last year, But the Panasonic, the Slim VR, and I think
Yeah,
the
man.
reason
I'm really amped about these, though. I am.
yeah, the reason I think I'm most excited about these is because I like the look of them. Like they have that kind of cyberpunk look, you know, that futuristic look. To date, headsets aren't really that cool looking, I guess. I mean, you can put stickers on them, you can do other things, but they're not like, you know, I don't know. I think these are kind of neat. These still look ridiculous, but I think they look cool. I don't know why that is.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the big thing that was updated with these for this year is that they have added 6 degrees of freedom tracking for the headset itself. They've gotten rid of the earbuds. They had like detachable earbuds. Now they're using audio from like Audio Technica, I think it was, if I'm saying
Audio Technica.
Yeah, Technica. So, I'm guessing that's going to be pumped through kind of like an Oculus Quest is. Hopefully they do pretty good with that software. And there's also a dioptic adjustment, which basically means each eye is adjustable independent from the other. Right now, you know, with IPD sliders and stuff like that, they move the same for each eye, which that's not always the best case. So I think having each eye, being able to fine tune each eye is really where the future of VR, AR needs to go to, I think, because. And
I think that's great for a more personal device too. I feel like this is a more personal thing than a VR headset, and only because we're probably not seeing the full, and I'd love to see it, but the full VR integration with this, you know what I mean? We don't really know how far this thing is going to be pushed into the VR world or realm.
I mean, this could just be made as a viewer, like a 360, you know, movie theater viewer. You know, they didn't show controllers with this, but possibly works with Steam maybe. You know, if you can get Steam integration, use index controllers or whatever that may be. You know, I don't know. I would love to see this as a VR headset. I'm also curious about field of view, and so Gaming Science Teacher, it's actually called a stepless diopter adjustment. I don't know what I said. I said something with a D, but I don't think it was right. But I wasn't looking at my notes for that specific word. But field of view is something I'm curious about. It does have HDR with 2.6K micro OLED panels for each eye. The screens
are nice.
Yeah. So then, you know, pretty much no screen door effect. They're saying should be really good visuals. I don't know about, like I said, field of view, because looking at this, it feels like it might be a pretty small field of view, but I don't know.
Somebody was saying 70 degrees. Tom Lloyd. Yeah, I remember hearing, I think
that was probably
a long time ago.
Old CES.
The old one said something like that. And it may still be that. They may just be bumping for higher res screens and stuff. And it will look amazing.
That's probably the case.
Sure. I mean, look at the size of the headsets and I mean, how it's made. You can't have super huge screens unless they're really close to your eye, which I would be surprised if they're doing. So it's got to be, super limited field of view still. I wouldn't see why it would be bumped any higher. I mean, look how, geez, the screens have to be tiny in those things. So,
So, and Fluke Rogi said dioptic adjustment isn't IPD adjustment. It's actual focus for your eye prescription, which that's even better. But nice, I mean, and I read some about it. It's kind of talking about camera lenses and kind of how those work and stuff like that. And that's similar to how this is going to work for focus for each eye. But I also want individual IPD. So I don't know, maybe this doesn't have the individual IPD, just the dioptic adjustment like they're saying. But I want individual IPD adjustment going forward in headsets. That's something that I hope actually happens. I think that'll, because so many people have problems with the Quest 2 with those 3 setting IPD adjustment. Like it needs to be something that is very fine tunable for multiple different eyes. You know what I mean?
Lenses for glasses don't come in 3 sizes.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you buy glasses, there's not 3 sizes of glasses. You get your lenses made per eye. So we really need to see a lot more of that.
So that'll be interesting to check out that dioptic adjustment. I'm really curious to see how that feels trying this out. I've never had these on. We would have if we would have been able to go to CES this year, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So I think these, I just love the way they look. I think that they look cool, and that's the one thing I'm probably the most excited about.
I know.
So, and I didn't want to talk about, I don't think I got this image either for the HTC, the headset that they showed. They showed this a while back. It's a long time ago. But the thing I want to talk about with HTC is that they're claiming that this year we're going to be getting into what do they call it? Not standalone VR, but with standalone 2 VR, which is basically using a headset connected to a mobile phone or something like that. And they're saying that is the future kind of all in two. All in two is what they're calling it. Kind of the future of VR and what we're going to see a lot of in 2021, which I just wanted to talk to you and everybody else. Like, is that what everybody wants? Like,
Yeah,
are we?
I think it is. I think that's what we're coming to. I mean, look at the already use for people with Quest 2 using it on PC. I mean, if ultimately you don't have to have any of that power on the headset, and I've said this forever, we just need headsets that are screens, right? Remove all the processing power needed from it. That way it's upgradable. You know what I mean? If you have a better phone or the latest Samsung phone, you could use it and play the newest games on it, kind of like a PC would be or a console would be.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
is an amazing thing because it removes, I mean, the only bad thing, again, as we go back to with PCs, everyone has different levels of stuff.
I was going to say.
Now you're back to that
it complicates
whole issue.
everything in a sense. I think there's benefits and there's downsides to both. I mean, an all-in-one headset like the Quest is great because, like you said, developers can develop for a Quest and it's going to work on all of them. You know what I mean? It's going to be the same.
Just like
it's going to run the same.
Just like a console.
Exactly.
Like a Sony, Xbox, whatever.
But the other thing is if you take out, the compute power and all that other stuff, you're going to get a lighter headset. You're going to get a smaller platform, a less weight in a headset. There's going to be benefits in that direction too. Part of the problem is not everybody has the latest and greatest phone, and even so I have the Samsung Galaxy, what is this, the S10 Plus or whatever it is, not the newest, latest, greatest phone, pretty up to date, I think. But so this has the same processor as the Quest 2. But the Quest 2 is going to run better with this processor than my phone because they cut off so much fat from what a phone has to do and a phone has to use.
Your phone's backdated even from that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still you're still got other stuff on your phone. That processor. Processor in the headset itself is probably going to run a little bit better. You can fine tune it a little bit more through Oculus. I don't know. But at the same time, I think that if HTC goes this route, some other headset companies go this route, it is going to be a simpler way for Oculus Quest to have a competitor because nobody really can compete with that $300 price range of the Quest 2. But if you're able to come out with a killer headset that has no compute power in it that you're going to use a phone or something like that for, then you're going to save a lot of money on that end of it, right? So they're going to be able to compete a little bit better with Oculus Quest 2 price tag. So
Right. I get it. I know. And there's pros and cons of both. I get it. And a lot of people are mentioning where I wanted to talk about next is with all the cloud-based PC stuff with, streaming your games essentially. At that point, you need no processing power on no matter what you have. You just need a solid internet connection basically. So then that changes the game altogether. I think that'll be far down the road at this point till it's done at a mass market appeal. I just don't think we're there yet with worldwide internet speeds and stuff.
Yeah, we're not. I think it will get there. Yeah, I do think that it'll get there. I think that is the future. So I just don't know about the all-in-two headsets. I don't know how that's going to go. It'll be interesting to see, but I think that Oculus does need a competitor, and that might be the easiest way for somebody to compete. I mean, it's going to cost a lot less for a headset if it doesn't have all the compute power in it. So we'll see. I don't know. I
mean, again, we go back to the whole putting your phone in a headset. I mean, essentially you're doing the same thing except for having all that screen stuff built into it. And removing the weight from it, as well. Yeah. Anakazi said that the Gear VR suffered from a lot of thermal throttling, and it did. I remember on mine, I actually mounted a fan. Yeah, I made an actual fan and a battery that ran it and everything, a 5-volt fan, to keep it cool without the cover on it and everything. So yeah, it was an issue, but we've come a long way with processing power now. What's in our phones compared to what was on my Note 4 when I was running that headset. So it's we are making leaps and bounds with all that speed. So we're to the point where phones can run it, and they don't need to be throttled back because they're ridiculous now. And every year we get faster and faster and faster. But then games get better and better and better too. So, and they want to always push that hardware. So it's always a game. Games are always getting released, pushing the latest hardware. They can't be ran. I mean, we're running Doom 3. How amazing is that? You know what I mean? But it's backdated and it's optimized to run on all that old PC stuff, and it's amazing.
Speaking of Doom 3, Fluke Rogi donated this key. This is a Steam key for Doom 3 if you want to do the side-loading SideQuest mod. Guy Godin, or Guy Godin, I think you pronounce it, he is in chat now, which is awesome to see him here. He said you still need processing power on the headset when rendering a VR game in the cloud, by the way. So you still will need processing power for sure.
Still, my thought is it's still going to be tethered to a phone. It's still going to be tethered to a phone in your pocket that is connected to your wireless or 5G at some point or whatever that may be. And you wouldn't have to have that. But, ultimately, I think a display is the best thing that we could have. but I just don't think we're going to get it. I don't think it's ever going to go that way. I don't.
I
would love to see headsets like monitors, man.
The hard part is with VR, you know, we talked about this a little bit in the Discord and people, is that there is still no one headset that does everything perfect. You know, every single headset you have right now is trade-off. One thing's better, but it's a trade-off from something else. You know, there's nothing that's just perfect, that does everything right. There really isn't that headset out there yet. So I don't know where it's going to go.
We're close with the Quest 2. It's crazy that I think that, but it really does everything very, very well.
But there's still trade-offs. You're still getting a 3-setting IPD adjustment that doesn't work for everybody.
I understand that, but
you're still comfort-wise. It's not the most. I mean, my Valve Index is still, I think, the most comfortable headset I own, and even with all the mods on my Quest 2, it's still more comfortable. You know, it just weight distribution and stuff.
The Quest 2 checks more boxes.
Like, it does. It checks a lot of boxes. It checks a lot of boxes, but I still don't think it's the one headset that is the absolute killer headset that just does everything right. You know, it's just not there.
You're never going to have a headset that's perfect because everybody's so different. Comfort's different for everybody. Audio preferences are different for everybody. Yeah, it's never going to be perfect. And that's why I wish it could be more upgradable. I wish it could be more specific per person. Like, you're buying that headset for the monitors and the headphones itself. You know what I mean? And tracking. You would have to have tracking because you have to have that built into the headset. But past that, your processing speeds would be upgradable, or depending on your internet connection, so it gives you the experience that you pay for, get, or buy into more than what you have. But it's the best headset, man. Quest 2, best all-around headset. I can't recommend it enough to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see where this goes, and I kind of looked forward a little bit more to CES this year, so that we were going to get a little bit more of a sneak peek maybe at what we could expect. But I think we're going to see some headsets this year for sure going on down the road, and it'll be interesting to see how many more companies are going to try to compete with Oculus, you know, in the mobile space. As most companies, you know, still stick with PC VR, but you see the market share that Oculus has with the Quest. So I don't know. It's a tough spot.
It is, man.
I
don't even want to read
Rizzle Rock's that nice hat. Rizzle Rock wants that hat. He wants that hat.
I know,
for sure.
man. So
you got to get that.
The problem is, I sent him a care package, by the way, and I really wanted to include this hat, but the bad thing is the leather wasn't treated on the RR symbol. And the first time I wore it, it got wet and has water drop stains on it because I didn't treat the leather.
That was custom made. We need to just get some more of those custom made.
I might make a limited run of these. I might have to do that.
That would be cool. It's a sweet hat. I mean, it's an awesome hat. So, as well as Arthur Knox saying, y'all making my case for cloud gaming. And I have ran my Shadow PC on my phone, Stylo 6, FYI. So I still think it is. Man. I still think it is the future. I mean, I think that I do. I don't know that it's there yet, but I do think it's gonna get there as internet speeds and stuff get better. I do think that it's gonna get there. So
I know. So it's coming. We're gonna see some stuff, I'm sure. We need a true competitor to the Quest 2, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at game prices are just going to skyrocket, and everything's just going to go off the deep end with it if we don't see a competitor soon. And we're already seeing that with some games, you know, coming out, where that ceiling was like at the $15, right? And those top games were at $30.
$20, yeah.
Now we're seeing that ceiling raised again to $40, and those other games being pushed to $30. So without a competitor, there's nothing holding them back from that other than PC VR games. So I don't know. It's going to be tough, but.
Yeah, I don't
love
know.
to see something.
It's going to be hard.
Matty
Matt says Quest 2 is only going to get better and better, where all the others will stay how they are. So, I mean,
if they drop true wireless for that headset, it's game over. For man. What headset? It really is. Like, native wireless for the Quest 2 from PC would be a game changer.
Like official? You talking about official? Yeah.
Official wireless would be.
But ridiculous. I mean, virtual desktop. You know, virtual desktop is killer though.
People like the official stuff though. Yeah. They really do. Yeah, that's crazy. But
I mean, that's so easy to do though, and it works so well. I mean, the Quest 2. I know somebody was in our Discord chat talking about using their Quest 1 with virtual desktop compared to Quest 2, and how much better the Quest 2 runs with virtual desktop. I mean, that is another solution, you know, that we're going to be looking at going forward. I think is more headsets that are able to do that kind of thing, because it's a killer way to play PC VR. I mean, the first time that I did it, I honestly had to take my headset off and make sure that I didn't forget that I had a cable plugged in to the PC because I was that blown away first trying it out. I couldn't believe it. So I mean that is huge technology. That is absolutely, I think, another thing that's, I mean, it's killer technology. So another thing that came out of CES was the SenseGloves, and some people were pretty excited about this. I think this is like their version 2. I think it was last year we saw the first version of these, which these are pretty cool. I mean, I would love to try these things out, but they're definitely made more for, you know, enterprise solutions, training for dangerous jobs, stuff like that.
Right.
So it's, what are these things? $5,000, I believe.
Right. That's the problem. I mean, that's literally what I was just typing in a poll right now.
Yeah. $5,000 USD price.
Right. $5. That's literally ridiculous. Like, even for enterprise stuff, like, how necessary is it? I mean, well, come on. If you're buying an enterprise headset, you're still only paying $3,000 probably for $4,000. So I don't know, man. It's still a lot of money, but I get it. But.
Well, Vraza with another super chat. He says, "This is for the mustache wax for the handlebar." Don't let my wife see that. My wife's not gonna like you if she sees that.
60% in the last poll said you should not cut that.
I know. Maybe it needs trim though. I just need like a barber to like shape it up a little.
I just want a squirrel to pop out, like right in the middle, or like a mouse or something, like your pet mouse to pop out of the middle.
If we could do like some CGI stuff, that'd be awesome. Maybe Steve XM could do that for us. But these gloves are awesome though. I mean, these are, you know, the price wise, I mean, you put a poll up there, would you pay $300 for these? The other problem is, even if they were $300, you still have to have games and software that support these kind of things. Absolutely. And how many, you know, we're not going to see any of that on native stuff. You know, obviously this is going to be custom built apps for training and stuff like
just
that.
Just like haptic stuff or anything else. It has to be implemented from the developer. It has to
be implemented. So Tony Digital said, Oculus is building for the future of VR, and everybody else is building for right now. There will not truly be a competitor for them. Mark my words. So
absolutely. I agree.
It's going to be a long time for a true competitor that's going to take market share from them, and that's gonna, if that ever happens, like you said, it's gonna be hard.
They have a chance. I mean, the amount of money that goes into development from Facebook to Oculus, nobody will compete against. And they've been working on stuff that we've seen even Zuckerberg playing with, you know, all the haptic stuff like this. How many years ago at this point?
And their face tracking stuff that looks ridiculous.
So what they've been playing with 3 years ago are companies now just coming out with it. So
maybe Samsung scratched the whole bug eye thing and the patent for those controllers, because that was for that was for PC VR. Maybe they've been focusing on standalone, which I doubt it, but man, that would be so awesome, I think. But
I know. But these are looking good. I mean, I'd pick a pair up for $300, right? I mean,
to play with,
yeah, but it's hard because then what? The same thing. You bought a Quest 2 for $300. Now you're going to buy gloves for the same price? But obviously, this isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? But
so these are cool though. It's exoskeleton, based off exoskeleton of a human tendon muscle system. Mechanical wires attached to magnetic friction brakes offer 20. I guess that is at Newton meters, 20 N of force across each finger.
Yep.
Voice coil activator technology provides realistic impact simulations such as feeling, pressing a button, as do vibro-tactile actuators located in near the thumb and index finger. A new form-fitting design promises a more comfortable interaction with the VR as well. I do like the simplified version of these. Some of these exoskeleton hand track kind of things, they look a little ridiculous and they're big. These are very slimline. They're quick to put on because, I mean, if this was something that came out consumer-wise, that's another one of those barriers to getting in VR. These are quick to put on, obviously not made for consumer, but
I think it was their prototypes too that had the arms that went out with the strings off the end of your finger as well.
So, yeah, there were the white ones last year. I can't remember if they were these guys.
They were.
I can't remember, but
could have been.
I don't know. I think it is cool for training purposes, though. Like if you have a super dangerous job that you can go in and you can learn in VR how to mess with some of these machines, things you do, and you get that feeling of actually touching it and moving things. I think it is a good thing, but.
Or like true VR jobs, right? Where you're actually interacting with things and doing things in VR as a job and controlling things on the other side.
Well, they had that robot. Would be amazing. They had that robot thing from CES where you could control that robot from in VR, which we've seen some of that in the past as well. But that's kind of cool. And I don't know, I mean, job-wise, that could make, you could work from home in a VR headset while the robot is at the store doing whatever, stocking shelves, I have no idea, whatever you need to do with it. But I think that that kind of stuff is cool. And something like this glove would definitely add to that sense of things. And that's the biggest thing about this is that the technology is getting better. It's getting smaller. It's getting simpler. They're figuring out kinks. So eventually some of this stuff could make it to consumer space. And I don't know what that'll look like, but it's just the fact that it's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting smaller. The technology is advancing.
The one company that really has always piqued my interest, and I talked about how much I love what they're doing before and how transparent they are, and it's in this video, is Pico, right? And I really was hoping we might see something from them at CES, because I really love what they do, and I really feel like they think about, you know, the VR enthusiast and the balance of the headsets, you know, by removing and putting stuff on the back and trying to transfer that weight. I really like what they do and how transparent they are. And I do feel like they could be a serious competitor for headsets. I just feel like they need backers, or they need financial backing, and
nobody has that
push them to the
Facebook
next
money.
limit.
That's the thing,
right? Exactly.
And there's a couple of these smaller companies like this that have done some really cool things. But I mean, and there was I think the Nolo VR was at CES. That was the updated version of some stuff from last year. Same thing
with their tracking and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard because none of that. I don't think a lot of that stuff's really gonna catch on. I mean, it's not gonna be as big as Quest and stuff, so it's hard. But yeah, I don't know.
It is. I do like Pico though, man. I really want to try one of their headsets for myself, because I just love what they do. And if you watch any of their like press releases or update videos, it's awesome, and I highly recommend it. Because
Pico? I was thinking there was another one that we watched.
Yeah,
a lot.
Pico does some, but they're really transparent about what they do, and I do like that.
And I'm with Rudel Zavedno. He said, why no one focuses on wider FOV at the moment, with the exception of Pimax and Enterprise like X-Doll and stuff like that. He said FOV is really a game changer for immersion, and I totally agree. Like, I hope going forward that is that, you know, we're pretty much there with the resolution, right? I mean, the resolution is pretty much
what
there.
happens though. When you stretch those screens, you introduce the screen door effect back. So there is a balance. It's a trade-off, you know, in itself, and how close you can get those screens to the lenses depending on lens design. So,
but I think as the compute power advances and stuff, I think that we are going to see that. I'm hoping that is the next generation going forward, even for Oculus Quest 3, you know, that I hope the big push for that next Oculus headset is a wider field of view. And I know they've messed around with that in the, what was the prototype that they had for the Rift, that was the lens, the screens actually half dome. The screens actually moved. I think they were talking about a little bit bigger FOV for that one, not massive still, but yes, absolutely. I think FOV is.
Right. And I still don't think the movable screens and stuff is, and nor at the time, I thought it was an awesome concept and I love what they were trying to do with it. But with the motors and everything introduced in that and how quick the response time is, I just don't think that's a viable solution.
I don't know. I think Oculus is still going to surprise us with some crazy stuff in the future. They have
I do too. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
They have some awesome stuff they're working on. But I
mean, look,
like
we're getting headset upgrades in a 1 year time frame. Like that in itself is amazing. The year and a half, right?
And there was some AR stuff at CES as well. Nothing groundbreaking, I don't think. A couple smaller, like I don't know if this was CES or after, the Rokid Vision, this is called. And this is Rokid Vision 2. So a lot of these little AR things. The problem with some of this AR stuff is that once Facebook and if Apple comes out with their stuff, all of these smaller companies making these AR headsets are going to get absolutely demolished, and they're not going to be, it's going to be so hard for them to be viable in a space where a Facebook AR headset is out there that they've been working on forever. They have a ton of money. Apple as well, you know, that they have a ton of money to put into this. It's going to be very difficult for some of these smaller, I think Lenovo even talked about theirs launching pretty soon, which looks pretty cool as far as being able to use it as like a workstation and stuff for doing PC stuff and all of that. But I don't know. I mean, it's so hard for these companies. I mean, I think as soon as a Facebook and an Apple AR product is out there, it's game over for a lot of these small, which is sad.
The only competitors that I could see, like in the true AR market, would be Google, Facebook, and Apple, basically.
Yeah, but they're those are the multi-billion-dollar companies. They're huge.
Sure,
you know what I mean? So they're going to crush it. Yeah,
they have the power from servers and the amount of information that they take from people to actually provide a amazing AR experience. And I feel like they're the only ones that can do it and do it right, probably. But,
I just wonder how far we are away from that. Like how long is it going to be before we actually see some of these Apple, Facebook, you know, Google headsets and stuff? Because we know they're working on them like crazy. And just like somebody said, Matty Matt said, AR seems just too gimmicky at the moment, which I agree. I mean, you got a super small field of view. You know, there's so many things that they're still trying to figure out. But I mean, if you would have asked me 3 years ago, I would have said by 2021, AR headsets are probably going to be out there starting to get mainstream, and a lot of people thought farther than that, and they're right. I mean, who knows?
Sure.
I mean, this still could be another 5-year thing before everybody's walking around on the road with an AR headset on. I don't know, but I do think it's got a big future, a big potential, but it's like, man, it seems like it's taken a while to really hone in on that. But
I know. So Son Solar says he's been going back and forth between the AKX and the G2 for a week. AK great clarity. You guys need to do a review. I don't know, man.
You were super excited for the AKX for a while.
I was, but what I can't get past are the lens distortion that it does in the games that I like to play. Like, it's great because I have a 5K plus, and the edges of it give me a distortion that for whatever reason give me a little bit of nausea for something. Like, it's just something odd about it I don't like. I want to look out and see full clarity in what I'm seeing. And yes, you still do. And with the AKX, you are going to have the higher res lenses and stuff. And that's what I was wanting. But I just can't get past the edges of I don't know. I understand I don't need a high clarity out there, but it gives me an odd warping effect to me. And I don't know. I don't know why it is.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of distortion in the lenses. They're kind of tricking you to get that wide FOV, and I think it's supposed to be better in like the new AKX. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think that the distortion on the sides is a little bit better. Maybe you can comment on that. But I would like to try one. I would like to try an AKX for sure. The problem for me is that, I've already spent a lot of money on VR headsets. We have like all of them. I bought the G2. I have a couple Quest 2s, Rift, CV1, Rift S, Index. I mean, there's just... So to spend that money, the money that they're asking for those AKXs is a lot of money, and I would want that with their better audio strap and all of that. So it's just hard to spend that. And I don't know. It's just it's if it was cheaper, if it was a $500 headset, I'd probably order one right now. It's just I would love to try it and think, see what it's like. But
the problem for me is, it rings in at right around $1,500 because I want with the strap, because on my other one I have a deluxe audio strap on my 5K plus because you need the comfort there because the stock strap is basically a throwaway in my eyes. And I know it's better, a little improved on the 8KX, but I don't know, man. It's a lot of money to push out to get that kind of a headset. And I just don't feel like I don't know. It just dropped off my radar. I wanted it for a long time. And I felt a better investment was the G2 for the money. That's all. I mean, it's for myself. We have to pay for these things out of our own pocket.
Yeah, we're buying these headsets. So.
Right. I mean, it's a serious, endeavor for us to spend that kind of change on to try a headset out.
Yeah. I mean, if we still could go to conventions, maybe it'd be different because we could try, we could try an AKX and we could see it. Like, is this something that we want to save up some money for to buy down the road, or like maybe not yet, I don't know.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, so talking a little bit about the AR stuff, Reckoner said, I think first glasses will come out notification-based first, and then proper AR glasses are still years away. He said he hopes he's wrong. Yeah, that's probably true. I want AR to be closer, like full on AR. I wear glasses all day that I can watch things in the corner, pull up notifications. I can play games with stuff popping out of the wall, but
GPS, notifications on buildings, stuff like that, tags on buildings.
I mean, I do want that, but somebody else commented, Steve B said Google Glass with cameras in public did not sit well with people. AR has a long way to go. Yeah, but even Facebook, they're testing what is it, World Sense or something? I can't remember what it's called. Where they're tracking. There's people out there wearing these things that are taking captures and tracking and stuff of all kinds of information. And they say they don't work in bathrooms and all this stuff. But I mean, I don't know. The problem is nowadays you really can't go anywhere mostly without being on camera, anyways. I mean, there's cameras everywhere, and so. It's going to be weird. I mean, I've said this many times in the Discord, everywhere else. The future is going to be weird. It is going to be weird. I can guarantee you that. As far as AI goes, as far as brain interface computers, the world is going to get strange. I truly think that it will. But there's also going to be some. Yeah.
I mean, put the lenses right in us. You know what I mean? It's going to come down.
It's going to be weird. Like, I'm sure. people 50, 60 years ago would think, I mean, longer than that, 100 years ago, people that aren't around now to see the technology that's there now with VR and stuff like that. I mean, it would blow their minds, So looking forward to 50 years from now, 100 years from now, if, I mean,
sure. We'll look back and laugh. Like, you guys strap something on your face?
It's going to be weird. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, right.
But I look forward to it.
Certain
parts of it I really look forward to. So
I agree. Yeah, I'm all for it. I know I'm filmed 100 times driving from here to the supermarket, just in passing in my car, from houses to cameras, traffic lights to everything.
And I mean, cars nowadays have lots of cameras on them. Not even talking like Teslas and stuff. Teslas have a lot of cameras, but Nissan,
inside too,
all kinds of cars have cameras on the mirrors, cameras in the bumpers.
Absolutely.
Like there's just cameras everywhere, which obviously I don't think those record. Really, those are just used for.
So the Tesla ones do because
I think you can.
Well, supposedly they don't unless there is an accident. Then they back record.
Really?
They're always recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they film the driver. I'm pretty sure too, and the oncoming and stuff like that. But somebody could correct me.
I think you can pull up. I think you can pull up some of the cameras as well on your phone app and stuff like that. Teslas do some crazy stuff, and it's only going to get.
I would actually be. I'm all about a Tesla myself, but.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're cool. So, Insomnia Doodles, thank you for that super chat.
Cheers.
He said Facebook's AR is called Project Area.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember Aria.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that Facebook and Apple, I'm telling you, they're going to crush it in the future when it comes to AR. But
like I said, called Project Night Stalker, I'm assuming.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, myself, if somebody wants to film me in public, places, it doesn't bother me.
I mean, other than
whatsoever.
bathrooms and stuff, that's just weird.
Public.
But,
well, right. Like,
it's
not
a public
private
restroom. It's a public restroom.
Yeah, but the stalls aren't public. Like, come on, man. I get it. I know.
I mean, some people like to get really close to you when you're standing at the urinal. I mean, there's 10, 15 other ones open. They just like they want to rub your. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways.
Why do we do this show?
I have no
understand
idea.
why we even freaking do this show. Oh my gosh.
But big thanks to Fluke Rogi for the Steam, the Steam Doom 3 key. I know a lot of people got to try out Doom
and the super chats, man.
And
the
super chats. Yeah,
cheers,
seriously, thank you for that. I know a lot of people got to try out Doom 3 last week. Hopefully, everybody's loving that. Dr. Beef and those guys. I mean,
dude, I love it, man.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. Phenomenal what they do. Can't wait to see.
Yep.
More out of that and what else they're going to do. Somebody mentioned that they heard a rumor that they were going to be working on Fear, which I don't know if you played Fear, but I played a lot of Fear back on the Xbox, and that game scared the crap out of me. Yeah, and I can only imagine playing that in VR, so that would be cool too. But I don't know if that was ever really popular game, but
it's the beard attraction.
The beard attraction.
Oh, what would we be without chat, man? Really,
yeah, that'd be super boring without chat. Seriously.
No.
So, So anything else that you have?
Oh man, anything else?
Oh, no. I did want to mention Space Slurpees as we gave out some demo keys last week, and because the demo wasn't out yet. So the demo is public now. It is on SideQuest as well as Steam. So check that out. I think that's pretty cool. And they're working on a map for us that I can't wait to see and check out. And I can't wait for everybody else to check it out. I think that's about it.
Person said freaking jump scares in Doom 3. I know. Cheers, man. Good to see you. I agree. It's amazing. Way different than playing it flat. Way different than I even remember it. Like, it's just,
there's so many flat games that translate so well to VR. And I love to see the more we can get, the better. Because they're older games. So a lot of times they're, not as graphically intense as some of the newer stuff. So to be able to run them in VR and stuff, it's a great option. I think that we need to get more of that. And even official stuff. I would love to see a more official games from actual developers that made the game, bring them to VR. I think that's great.
Right, sure. Why not? Yeah, revive that. You bring it back. Think how many more games you could sell again to a whole new audience, because there's kids now that don't even know what those games are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Never had a chance to play them. Didn't grow up experiencing them. It would be, I know. But I know.
Arthur Knox with another one. Goodness. He said,
cheers, man.
Yeah, thank you. He said, you guys got to try and get John Carmack on. That would be awesome. So it might happen.
I would love
maybe
to talk
someday.
to John.
Maybe someday.
Yep.
We'll
John Carmack. Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
John Carmack is honestly,
he's a genius.
I know people that know him personally, and he
is a freaking genius.
Honestly, just, a really smart guy. And before all of this stuff he's done,
so. He's on another level for sure. He is on another level. So,
I would agree. Yep.
I think that's pretty much it.
I honestly, these super chats, you guys are ridiculous. You guys do not need to do this. Honestly, we love you guys for it. We probably should just turn it off because you guys should go buy games with these, play VR. Honestly, I say this all the time, but I'm dead serious. But honestly, Arthur Knox, Samia Doodles, Tony Digital, Raza with doubles, Arthur Knox with however many. Oh my gosh, Rizzle Rock. Cheers, man. You're not getting this hat, I guess, but I'm gonna work on getting you one. Yeah, Tony Digital again. South Memphis with the pre-show super chat.
Pre-show,
yeah, right. Oh, I know. We need to get off here. I need to go get back on the treadmill.
I gotta try that. I gotta download that.
You guys all need to try it. If you have a treadmill and a Quest, please go try it. It is cool. It's a great workout, man. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it is. It's super cool, man. Pick of the week, right there. Go try it.
I actually have another. I don't even think I've showed you them yet. I'm not ready to show them yet. I haven't got to test them out enough yet. But another VR accessory that I got my hands on that I'm really excited to test out.
I know.
Especially with there's a future upcoming game that I can't wait to try this in. So hopefully maybe next week I'll get some video put together and we'll talk about that next week. But yeah. So
I know. Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Steve XM, still here, man. Thanks for the intro. If you haven't, check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments below, or what you're going to be playing this week, or if John Carmack should come on. Let him know.
Yeah,
tell him to come on, man. We'd love to. Love
sure.
to.
Yep.
And shout out to my brother from another mother, I feel like, J2 Cents, man.
Is that his cup?
Yeah, man.
I wondered what
watch
that
all
was.
this stuff all the freaking time, and we have like so many like deep-rooted, like I'm going to work on my car right now, and I feel like that's what he does in his spare time. You know what I mean? I got to go rewire my 72, which I'm not excited about, but that's this week's final product. Insomnia Doodles, man. Stop it, guys. We need to shut this off before you guys
Thank
keep
you.
doing this.
He said the more we support you, the more content you can bring us. So
that's true. Honestly, if we get to a point, content may go way up. So cheers, guys. Thanks for sharing it.
Thank you.
It is.
This week's been a little rough. I've been kind of sick this week. So hopefully 2021 starting out a little bit slow for us. We're going to ramp it up. We got some big plans. So yeah, we definitely appreciate everybody being here and hanging out. This is honestly the highlight of our week. So thank you again.
It is, man. Yeah. I know. Yep. But cheers. What intro are we getting, man? I want to know which one we're getting. Are we getting the old school one?
I don't know. It's the one I had set up last time. I think it's some mug shots. So join the Discord, throw us some mug shots. We need some new ones.
Sweet.
So
yep. Awesome.
See you all
We're out of here. See you guys here or where, Sean?
I don't know.
See you in VR. Come on, man. You know it. All right, guys.
Later.
We're out.
See ya.
Later. See ya.